I'll never forget this one time I was talking to John, and he had a snake coming down his pants. A live snake was there. And Paul and George were walking behind him, with hot dogs, because we were eating meat in those days. Anyway, John's got this snake coming out of his trousers. I think Paul said something weird. What happened?
George Harrison, 1972.
Oh yeah. Paul said, your penis is falling out of your pants, John, and it's green and it's got teeth. I always figured it would, And John looked and screamed, and he started trying to take his trousers off, and his trousers were falling down around his ankles. And it turns out this was a rubber snake that Paul had put there. Paul was trying to play a joke on John, put a rubber snake in his pants.
Paul McCartney, 1985.
Oh yeah, there were lots of funny things we did in those days. Like, rubber snakes. Gotta remember rubber snakes, what we would do with those. Yeah, I'd put rubber snakes in Paul's trousers. And, on Paul, okay. I'd put them in my own trousers and scare myself because I was on so many drugs. No, but really, I'd put them in John's. That's weird when you call somebody by your own name, isn't it? What is the name for that? I put him in John's trousers. And the snake was coming down the side of the trousers and peeking out, and Ringo's, you've got the snake coming out of your trousers, how Ringo talks. And, it was funny, it was wild, John got scared and started taking his trousers off.
Ringo Starr, 1990.
Oh yeah, he started taking his trousers off. And John's kicking away at his trousers, and the rubber snake was sewn into the side of the pants. So no matter how much he kicked, he wasn't getting away from that snake before those pants came off. Those pants had to be off before he could kick off the pants to get rid of the snake, and John was kicking. And I remember Paul was choking on his hot dog, and George had to give him the Wellington maneuver. Of course, you've heard of the Heimlich maneuver. This is what we do in England. We give them the Wellington maneuver. And he Wellingtoned Paul, and the hot dog came flying out and hit the rubber snake in the side of the face, and we just all fell out laughing. It was just like one of those Beatles movies, with the cartoons, and we all stumbled out of the car, and we're the Beatles, and we're rowdy, and we're crazy. Yeah, rubber snakes in John's pants, so things like that would happen.
John Lennon, 1974.
Oh, sure I remember with the rubber snake. We were on the dock at Liverpool. We just got hot dogs. I'd eaten mine, and I didn't know the thing. Apparently, I'd been walking around all day with this rubber snake coming out the side of me pants. Didn't know it. So Ringo starts telling me, look at the rubber snake at the bottom. You know how Ringo talks. Look at the rubber snake at the bottom of your pants. And I started flipping out. And just then Paul came up there with George. Paul started choking on his hot dog. George had to give him the, what they call it, the Heimlich in the United States. What do they call the Wellington? He had to give him the Wellington. And so George Wellington Paul, and the hot dog came out, hit the rubber snake in the side of the face, and it was just mayhem after that. I pissed my pants. Not my underpants, of course, not my regular pants, because they were off. They had a snake tied, sewn into the pants. There was a snake sewn into the pants.
Ringo Starr, 1979.
Oh, yeah, it was sewn into his pants.
And, Ringo, what happened when he noticed the snake in the pants, Ringo?
Well, he started kicking, trying to get the pants off. And finally he got the pants off, and it was already mayhem, because at that time when Paul was choking on a hot dog. And George had to give him the Wellington, to get the hot dog dislodged from his throat. And Paul dislodged the hot dog from his throat, which flew across the dock. I'll never forget this. As God is my witness, it hit that rubber snake in the side of the face, and it bounced off. And we all started laughing. Gorgeous, uproarious, lionesque laughter, like the kings of gods and the gods of kings. We just laughed, just luxuriantly did we laugh. And we saw that hot dog hit that rubber snake in the side of the face, and we laughed. We laughed really, really hard.
Paul McCartney, 1989.
Oh yeah, well, people keep mentioning this all the time about the time that we were on that dock.
were playing around with that rubber snake in John's pants, yeah? John loved games like that, you know. John loved to be tricked. You always got to trick John to entertain him. That's the thing about John. You can't entertain John unless you feel like he's been tricked. Then he's entertained. He loves magic shows. So, we would put the rubber snake in the bottom of John's pants. And John freaked out, pissed his pants. And I choked on a hot dog. It's amazing that I didn't know that George knew the Wellington. We'd never choked before. We always chewed our food quite well. Nobody choked in the Beatles until I choked on that hot dog. And George had to Wellington me. It took a good 15 seconds. I was turning blue. I couldn't think. Nothing. I was running out of air. But yeah, he Wellington me and the hot dog came out. Flew across the dog, hit the snake in the side of the face. Mayhem ensued. You know, that's the way it was in those days.